Harry, I hate to do this to you. First event, putting you on the spot. Any predictions?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good chance for Infused here. I think if they start things off well, and you know, there's a they want to do well. I mean, XPC, they've already beaten them once. I don't think they're going to want to let them do it again, especially not here on the finals on the first map. So I feel like this one's going to be fairly close. And it wouldn't surprise me, sorry, if we see Infused posting a fairly decent scoreline here. And I could see them doing fairly well for themselves. A lot of it's going to depend on, you know, what side they start on and how these pistol rounds go. And I think if they win both of the pistols, which is quite a tall order, but if they do that, I'd say they could possibly take Dust 2 off of XPC. But I have to be honest with you, my mind's telling me that XPC have got this. My heart's telling me to go with my nation. So, I mean, you know, I'm fairly split, but I do think XPC definitely have the skill, the aim, you know, the talent to post a competitive scoreline as well. So I do think XPC will take the series, but about Dust, I'd say it could go the way of Infused.
Yeah, interesting call. And to be honest, I can't look past XPC from the performances that we saw. I was lucky enough to witness both of their games against Kaz and Infused. So, yeah, I can't look past them. But, you know, maybe after this I'll be looking to change my predictions. But at the moment I'm thinking, unfortunately, a 2-0 in these next two maps going in favour of XPC, unfortunately from a UK perspective anyway. But, you know, you had an interview with one of them, really nice bunch of guys, you know, and they've played some phenomenal CS for us that we've got to witness. It's been outstanding, and it's just a pleasure, isn't it? It's effortless, but it's so smooth.
Yeah, no, it has been a pleasure to cast, like you say. And we actually spoke to White, I believe it was, who's their dedicated AWPer, and me and Jan come over. We had a nice little chat with him about, you know, where we're hoping they're going to go, and you know how they've kind of started practicing together, where it all came from, what they've done so far. And they just seem like a swell bunch of dudes. So it would be great to see them achieve something here today. And well, I mean, you know, they've come to the UK, they've travelled a long way to get here, and you know, the whole idea of you know, this is a UK event, and predominantly we see UK teams being the ones who kind of pull through. So having a whole different country being the ones to contend is a pretty cool thing, I think, for I-58 this year.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's going to be just another minute or two before we're underway. By the looks of things, all players now in the server. So here we go. I'm assuming we're starting this thing with the normal knife rounds this side to sides.
Yeah, I think Team Infused just like seeing us have to sit here and fill, because, you know, they drop out every now and again. Just give us a few minutes to sit down and try to come up with things to say. Embarrass ourselves a bit, you know how it is, the standard. But yeah, like you say, I assume it's going to be the knife round in order to pick sides. But looking at it, it looks like, you know, that's already gone ahead, and it is actually just going to be the first round live. So looking at this, we've got 3 members of XPC over towards that A site. But I mean, right now, Team Infused over on the T side, the side that we said it would be good for them to start on. They're going to be trying to kick things off here. They have left Weber behind. He's trying to post himself up, get some information for them. He isn't able to do anything too much just yet, but having someone playing kind of passively hanging back isn't going to bode too well for them if this push goes underway. So he's going to start to move up slowly but surely. And well, 1 minute left on the clock. They've still got plenty of time to play around with. They haven't committed to anything they haven't committed to anything just yet. There we go. And yeah, as it stands, they're trying to take this nice and slowly. They don't want to be rushing into this. They're just trying to play off of any information they can get. And right now, they're not getting very much.
No, they sure are, and this is actually a fairly quick push over towards the A site compared to what you sometimes see in the standard for Dust 2, which can be hang around mid until about 40 seconds left to go before you make a move, but it seems to be XPC who have the early advantage. Weber, though, he can do some damage from the position that he is now taking, and he is spamming away and does eventually pick up the frag on the pushing from behind. Zemente with a frag on Connor, leaving Weber last man in the pit. They know where he's coming from, though. They know that he's managed to wrap in from behind, and they are going to try and get onto this defuse if they can. So Zemente is going to be facing, while Cosmin, he does pick up the defuse, and even though Weber is able to pick up the defender, Cosmin mops up first round on the board for XPC.
Yeah, and you know, securing that first round on the CT side is going to bode very well for them. They're going to be able to buy up into this, and they're not going to be taking too many chances with this buy. I mean, they don't want to be fully investing just flat out in SMGs like we have seen a lot of teams do so far, which shows they're fairly respectful of Team Infused. They know that they can do the damage even when they're on these pistol rounds. And they're not going to give them too many chances to get away with inflicting too much damage. You have got Weber as well on the Deagle. Let's see if he can make anything happen with that. I mean, the Deke King himself, you know, just kind of floating around trying to see what he can do. He's going to be moving in with the rest of his team now. They're taking that bomb slowly but surely and moving around as a pack. And, well, look at this push as well from XPC. They've got a lot of information out of this play. And, well, time's going to be ticking down. And time's running out for Team Infused, but not for the reasons that they're currently aware of, as they do manage to pick one up on his ally towards the site. Bomb's going to get planted once again over towards A, and while the rotate is already underway, Weber gets one with that Deagle, something that we said he should be able to make a good showing with, but Zexy comes in, he manages to pick up 3, he manages to pick up 4, and he's going huge right now for XPC. Then Cosme gets one of his own onto Mighty Max, and that does mean they manage to secure that second round in flawless fashion.
Yeah, they do, and a bit of CS courtesy allows Sexy to pick up the defuse after the work that he did there with the ump in hand as well, so 200% kill bonus, so he has got 6k to his name and will be able to throw an AWP in the direction of White if he can't afford to buy one himself, and he is actually thinking about going for that one here in the third round. So it's going to be a full buy, but they're going to be facing the same thing from Team Infused, who've got a bomb plant in, so they've got the cash, and White straight away is in there with the AWP pick, taking down Weber and Sexy. I don't know how he got caught out there, but Connor does come away with the frag as he makes his way into long, and you know, not for the first time, Team Infused get themselves a couple of frags over towards the A site. Zaminte down to half HP, so he's going to be one to watch out for. Mighty Max in the tunnels trying to do what he can, but Cosme bounces to flash off the wall, and good intelligent play from him. Back to a 3v3, and bomb not quite planted yet. So time, and White goes for it. He's so close, and he's trying to jump to get Pulse, who is the AWPer. He's going to want to try and fall down to pit if he can. Don't think White's seen Connor, and Aaron is crisp and on point, and Aaron's got his second before Zaminte comes in. What can he do now? Trying to get some information. He knows that the AWP Pulse is up on the site. He doesn't know, though, the position of Connor. I don't think he will have got that information. He will have just seen the pixel to the right of his screen. Doesn't pick it up, though, and Team Infused put their first round on the board. 2-1. Nice work, guys, and that's done some economic damage to XPC.
Yeah, welcome to the scoreboard, Team Infused, and they do manage to get their first round in early on. It's going to go to round 4 now, and XPC, well, because of how devastating that loss was, and taking a few early hits in as well in the previous rounds, they're not going to be able to get a buy together, so it will be an eco for them. Team Infused going into this round very, very quickly, looking to carry with the momentum they've gained previously. Aaron is going to find one on his Zello over towards long. Weber gets one of his own as well. He makes it 2. And now XPC, it's all going to fall into these remaining B players as they try to come in for the rotate now. The A site, of course, completely open because of that long play. It would not surprise me if we see Bomb going down very, very shortly. We're going to be seeing a few members of Team Infused left back here to try and get the information. He's going to be able to pick up one. That's going to be Cemente going down, and Cosme gets taken out too. So Connor in with the double kill at the end there for Team Infused, and it's going to go 2-2, and that's what they needed. A nice, clean round to help build up that economy.
Yeah, nice and tidy, and no messing around. Really good stuff from Team Infused, and they seem to be out-fragging XPC more often than not on the picks, and it's been the retakes that have done the damage so far. And it's a double eco coming in from XPC. See if they can be a little stronger on it over towards the long. They've got the numbers advantage there, but you know, the rifles and the aim of Team Infused have been enough to kind of bring them home so far. And with no information coming in from long, maybe XPC thinking about some kind of B play coming in. And Palsy does take down Zaminte straight away. That's going to be another one on the board for Team Infused, and can they work from here?
Mighty Max does get one of his own up on towards short, so at this point it should be fairly obvious to everyone where they're going to be heading. Weber does get left here to try and watch this angle, and while he's going to peek it, he lands the collateral. Actually, he takes down Cosme down to 12 HP and is able to pick him up with the Tech 9. And there you go, that's Team Infused getting their third round on the board now. But, you know, this is fairly important. XPC, they also went to eco the previous. They were forced onto a double eco as a result of their economy looking fairly weak. But now it's going to be the first rifle buy for both sides that we've seen in quite some time. So this is a very, very important round. Team Infused, if they take it, they keep building up that economy and they get themselves to a 2-4 scoreline. XPC, they need to erect the wall here. They need to slow down Team Infused, because right now it's looking like Team Infused are very much the ones in control of the pace of the game.
Yeah, they sure are. And they seem to be making these picks. which is crucial, and that's all you got to do on T-side is get your picks, get the numbers in your advantage, and to be honest, out of anything, you would rather lose a man on T-side than you would on CT. Is two things really. If you lose a player on CT, there's an angle that's not being covered, and you've then got to either worry about it or shift someone off for a site to cover it. And the other option is that even if you lose a player on T-side, you are probably going to have the numbers advantage when you hit a site. They've got two there holding it, you've got your 4 players that you got left going in, then you'll probably be able to get through, get a plant down, etc. And then you just got to hold it. White at the car with the AWP in hand. He gets one and he gets a second as well. Zello is doing the damage. Pulse going to try and come up as well. And they need to now commit onto this play from the platform. Weber able to take down White in the end, but the damage may well have been done with the frag that he was able to pick up too. In fact, Zello doing the same thing, and Zello actually puts his third frag on the board as well. And the first real buy versus buy there goes in favour of XPC.
Yeah, but Team Infused having so much money, they can buy into this regardless. And well, it is going to go to a 3-3 scoreline, like you say, a nice hat-trick as well in that previous round. We're going to be going into round 7 with another rifle versus rifle. Weber's going to be watching that cross in mid, and he's not able to find a kill. He does, however, get Saminte down to 21 HP, so that's a nice start here for Team Infused as they go into this with a slight HP advantage. Now, Weber is going to be rotating in to try and watch that angle over towards long. He's going to be taking that AWP, falling back into T-spawn and seeing what he can do with it. The rest of Team Infused slowly but surely making their way towards short, where we've seen them have some serious success in the past. And, well, it's all going to be down to whether or not they can repeat that previous success that they have had from this angle. Trying to counter them out here. It's going to be White over towards the A site. He's waiting patiently, just biding his time. A minute left on the clock. I mean, you know, Team Infused, they've got to do something sooner rather than later. And XPC currently just holding things nice and steady, being steadfast here and waiting for the encroaching attack from Team Infused. 55 seconds left on the clock, and, well, the UK team here, they've got to make something happen, and they know that. XPC know it. It's just a question of when. Flash goes out long. Sexy's going to be able to get 2, does finally get taken down by Aaron, but it's going to go into a 3-on-4 here. XPC taking that one-man advantage early on. Pulse trying to put in a little bit of work from short, isn't able to do so, and while the rotate's coming in, he's got a lot of information from this position, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to be challenging off against Cosmine. Cosmine's going to be able to pick up that frag there on the Pulse, and now it's going to go into a 1 versus 4 here as Weber with the AWP trying to do all he can, and he's got to run away with his tail in between his legs, try and get out of there to hold on to that AWP, and, well, XPC, I don't think they're going to let him.
No, they will want to try and do what they can, and they do pick it up. So 4 players left alive for them at the end of that. Nice work from Sexy, who got dropped picking up 2 frags early doors, and they dropped that AWP out of contention as well. So Team Infused going to be feeling the pressure of the economy just a little bit more, and, you know, suddenly in the space of a couple of rounds, it's shifted back in favour of XPC, who take a slender advantage. And to be honest, for them, even if they can just win out half and get an 8-7 on their CT side, that's a very commanding position for them to work for when they get onto T. And, you know, Team Infused, they're going about things, I don't want to say the right way, but they're going about things the standard way, to be honest, holding and looking for where their picks are coming from, and they have shown during the early stages that they are capable of making those. But, you know, what is often the trap is you sit around so long waiting for something to happen, and then when you do need to make your play, even if you're getting your frags, you are sometimes left in the position where you've got to get those and charge the site and get the plant just to have the time. And, you know, if the CTs are holding their utility back, then they can use those to really slow down your pushes and make it tense on the timer, if nothing else. And I think we saw Kaz lose 3 straight rounds just on time against Infused, which is a bit of a rookie error to say the least. And you've got to try and just be incisive. And White, he takes down Weber. I don't think Weber was really expecting anyone to be peeking that angle, but they were. And Zaminte is going to be a difficult one to try and dig out as the play now comes in. Pulse does take down Zaminte, and Zello doing great work at Cosmine on the spray down. How often have we seen him do that? He's just there, rifle in hand. Good spray control, good rifle control, picking up 2, 3, 4 frags in bunches.
Yeah, you know, just currently being the spray down king, we actually seen him as well previously, Cosmine, along with some of his other teammates, being you know, very, very reliable on those situations where you're left in that kind of 1 versus 3 solo on his site, landing the spray downs. But it is going to be an eco now coming out for Team Infused. Their economy was once looking very, very prosperous, and now struggling a little bit. They are going to be having to devote themselves to a site early on. They're not able to get a lot of damages. In fact, Aaron actually gets taken down to 9 HP in mid. Cosmine is going to rotate in to help out White there. Of course, is the mid player with that AWP in hand. They're not really able to find too much. Connor once again taken down to 10 HP. Finally going to get dropped by Cosmine. And that's going to give a one-man advantage to XPC. Push is going to be underway. White checks into CT, is going to be able to pick up one on a Weber. And, well, I mean, in the blink of an eye, quick as that round started, actually, Team Infused getting dropped. XPC, they managed to pick it up, and once again, a fairly clean round from them. Now, the issue is, Team Infused, if they let XPC start to get too many rounds on the board in a row and aren't taking out enough men, then their economy is going to start to kind of run away with them, and that's already happening now. I mean, you've got nearly 10,000 on Cosmine, and, you know, kind of 5 grand being the average between everyone else. You know, it's a fairly worrying prospect for them, definitely, at this point.
Yeah, it sure is, and they're going to have to try and figure out how to deal with this, because that mid-push that they were trying to get there just didn't work, and, you know, XPC were more than equal to a 3-man push from short, even with the utility flying in, and, you know, they are capable of that. If there was 5 players in there, it's a bit of a different story, especially if you can get some kind of pincer movement going in from long, and I think they're going to be careful with this, and, you know, basically just isolate White and make sure that he can't go and make the picks and reduce the numbers from the mid, because the AWP can be quite limiting on your CT side if you've got to then use it to try and retake. As Sexy trades straight back, Aaron going down, but you know, 4v4 is probably still slightly advantageous for Team Infused, and you know, with the bomb ticking away in the rate that it is, I think XPC have completely given this one up. I'm not sure if they are going to go for this.
Yeah, well, you know, that bomb has been down for quite some time now. It's just ticking away. They are on the clock, and XPC still look a little bit questionable as to whether or not they are going to be going for it. 2 players pushing up short, though, as Cemente comes in with one on a post. It's going to go into a 2-on-2. Cemente does manage to get himself a second before he gets traded down by Weber, and then over from long. In comes Sexy. And that's going to be that frag on a Weber, so the defuse is just going to come in by XPC there. But I mean, you know, a rather delayed kind of retake from them there. I think the plan was just see if they could get any frags to start it off, and they did, so they went for it. 7-3 now is going to be the scoreline, and 4 rounds separating these two teams right now. Team Infused, they need to start to get a few more rounds on the board. They need to start to bolster that economy if they are to stand any chance when we head into the second half.
Yeah, for sure, and you know, I wasn't quite seeing what was happening there. I was thinking XPC were just going to let that one go and say, there you go, but in the end it seemed like, okay, maybe they're going to try and just inflict economic damage, but in the end they come through and you know, retake that thing pretty easily, even after leaving a little bit of time in it for things to develop as well. So Team Infused going back to the standard, going to try and get a bit of mid-control. You know, White is taking up a few decent angles to try and deal with that, without having to get too up close and personal with the AWP in hand. So he's dealing with the situation well. One of the Team Infused players has taken the tag during the skirmish as well. And will that prove to be costly? We shall see. And fairly standard for the time being. XPC might be tempted to go for a little push from somewhere and try and get some extra information, but the way things are going, they may as well just sit back and absorb the pressure. White gets one before Aaron takes him out, so nice work actually, but everyone is pretty low as Zello is able to grab Aaron. So numbers are favouring Team Infused. The plant does go in, but Zello, he's right up in Pulse's grill, who's taken down, and Mighty Max is also able to get a frag. So both these guys are super low against the full health Sexy and Cemente, and they pick up those remaining 2 frags. So I guess for Team Infused, they can say they made it expensive, plus they got that bomb plant for the all-important $800 in the coffers, but still no more rounds.
Yeah, well, you know, a bomb plant is good at the end of the day. It's that extra $800 on top of the loss bonus, but I think they are going to be hoping for a little bit more than that if they are to stay in this in the second half. It does, of course, give them a good bit of money to buy into this. I mean, when you look at it, lots of utility across the board. You know, Pulse even having a little bit of money left over, which I'm sure he could drop on something exciting later on. But, I mean, you know, you're 12 rounds in, the scoreline's 8-3. Infused, they need to be getting a few more on the board. And while Yellow, if he comes in like that, picking up one on a Pulse and Aaron, dropping 2 very influential players early on, that's going to be the right way to go about holding on to this for XPC. Weber is going to come in with 1 to try and get the return frag. He manages to make it 2 as well, so now he's been able to find the double. Can he do anything with the remaining long and lower B player? So he's going to be edging on out. And, well, he's going to hit Weber down to 12 HP, but Weber comes in, gets the hat-trick. That's going to be 3 for him now. And, well, Plant is going to go down. It's all going to fall into Cemente. And he's got to try and do something here. I mean, unsure what that could possibly be. Weber's going to go down, unable to, get the 4K. Finish that round off in a truly impressive light, but it's still going to be a 2 versus 1. Zemente slowly making his way up long. Team Infused, that they know all they have to do is trade in this position, and well, bomb's going to be planted for them. Smoke's going to go down, and Mighty Max peeking out there from the corner is going to be able to find him. So Team Infused, they get their 4th round on the board, and well, they are going to be trying to make their way back into this. 4 rounds now is all that's between these two teams. And Rossi, I mean, that was a fairly pivotal round there. It could be potentially. Yeah.
And it could well be, and Team Infused is showing this potential. They're actually playing pretty crisp, and some of the shots they're hitting. Weber, Aaron made a few very early entry frags over towards the A site, so they're in form and they're ready to play. But XPC have already managed to win out half on CT side, and Team Infused also have to be wary of the reset, as they are squeezing their economy even with the loss bonus and the bomb plants that they've been getting. As well, so it's going to be tight for them if they end up dropping this one, and it's just going to allow XPC to really put the stranglehold on. If they can put themselves into double figures on CT side, then that's not the best position to be working from, but not the end of the world. Team Infused, they pick themselves up the pistol, and the first buy versus buy after that can bring themselves right back into it regardless, so no real concerns for them just for the time being, and showing that they're looking towards the A site again. Zello, he's got Aaron right in front of him and now can disappear and fade into the smoke, leaving White to do some legwork with the AWP in hand, who gets tagged down. Connor, though, he's 2 HP, so he has to fear pretty much everything as they're now stalled here on the platform. Pulse gets one, taking down White, so he seems to be trading, but not necessarily taking off just yet. Zello and Sexy, though, they're able to get 2 players. Pulse, though, he's picked up his 3rd. Pulse is collecting a few frags as he goes here as well, but XPC pick up another one. The reset does come in, and aside from Mighty Max, no one can buy. They're going to have to just, well, I don't think even the Force is a smart idea here.
Yeah, no, I think they are just going to look to hold on to their money and see what they can do in the 15th round. Of course, the last round of the first half is coming up after this. This is going to be a little bit of a throwback. I think they'll be looking to do some economic damage. It's just how much economic damage can you do? XPC, they are fairly low on money, so anything they do manage to take off for them here is going to be very advantageous towards Team Infused, as their buy into the next round should be relatively stable. They are going to be going for their standard strategy here, heading up towards short. Cosme takes down one onto Aaron in mid. The remaining 4 Team Infused players are going to be going for this. Flash does go out as Weber jumps down into CT, challenges up against those 2 players, is going to get taken down. Well, it's all going to fall on a Pulse, and Mighty Max here. Plant is going to get completely denied by White, and then Sexy here from CT gets 1 under Pulse. That means it's going to go 10-4. And Team Infused, they're going to be able to buy up as we go into the last round of the first half. 6 rounds now separating these 2 teams, and I think Team Infused, they would love it if they could take this 5th round on their, for their side. Yeah, exactly. It gives them something else to work for, and I think even looking at now, if it goes 10-5 or 11-4, XPC, they're not going to be able to win this just off the pistol, but they're going to get themselves so close that it's going to need a little bit of a comeback, and they are on arguably the easier side. And from what we've seen from XPC, the way they float around and get aggressive and look for picks on their T side, you wouldn't put it past them to be able to put some good work in. But you never know. It's on the main stage, it's on the grand final, and Team Infused have already played a best of 3 and a tight best of 3, so they have no excuse for not being warmed up and ready to go for this one, to be honest, and maybe they'll be able to catch XPC cold. We shall soon see as that unfolds, but minute 10 left to go. Final round of the first half, and everyone pretty much evenly matched with what they've got in their hands and ready to use going forward. So if it does square off on a particular site, it's going to be interesting. And I guess one thing that we can talk about maybe going into half-time and the like is Team Infused haven't really wanted to hit B too often. No, they've steered really clear of that B site, and primarily they've gone for this short play. It's something that we're going to be seeing potentially coming out from them again. Weber's going to push out, but White just drops him, no questions asked. The rest of Team Infused have already making their way up mid. Smokes go in. Zello tries to rotate through. Cosmine does get 1 on a max, but the refrag's going to come in from Aaron as he takes down both Cosmine and Zemente there. Zello getting a bit of consolation frag, but Bomb goes down 2 versus 3. The rotate is already in from XPC. Bomb's only just gone down as well, so they've got plenty of time. And well, Aaron and Connor are going to be the last hopes for Team Infused here in the 15th round. Slowly but surely making his way through. Sexy is going for something here. Connor's going to be able to get 1. He makes it 2 as Aaron comes in actually with the crossfire there. And Well, in the blink of an eye, it's going to be a 1 versus 2. Sexy through tunnels, going to try and do what he can. But he's going to get taken down by Aaron, and that's going to be the 5th round on the board for Team Infused. 10-5 is going to be the end of this half. A very convincing showing from XPC, but you know, a good couple of rounds put on the board as well by Team Infused.
Yeah. Worked the same strat there as they've been working, but it was actually a fake for them to throw a mid to B, and you know that was perfect execution in the end, and you know some good individual play from those boys in there to then bring the thing home. And you know, fair play to Connor and Aaron for locking that thing down, and let's see what they can now produce on their CT side. And if they get the pistol and the next buy versus buy, then that puts them right back into this encounter. XPC, though, if they are going to be getting the bomb plant, they will almost definitely be forcing up for the AK on the 3rd round. And Zello has started things off well. Mighty Max going down in the pit. Aaron is going to get isolated out the car. They know where he's coming from, and his teammate has to come in and help him out a little bit. And Aaron is trying to tag, but he can't find the face of Cosmine, who instead comes away with the frag, and the push is now on. Players having to fall away. And Pulse, what a shot that is on the crossover. Don't really know how he's pulled that one off, but they haven't seen this one coming, and they've now got to try and get across Team Infused. They're cut down, and XPC kind of take a leaf out of Team Infused, but throw the A fake and then get the plant into B.
Yeah, you know, they took the strategy that we did see Team Infused use, you know, so well in the previous round, and well, they used it against them. They take long control early on, they take short control, throw all these smokes for the fake, and then head in through B. And Team Infused, well, by the time they figured out the route, the jig was already up and bomb was down. But it's going to be the 17th round. 11-5 is the score currently, with 6 rounds between these two teams. Team Infused going into a little bit of a force here. You've got the Deagle on Pulse and Connor. Weber also adopting the Deagle. He's being down in mid, trying to see if he can find any damage. White gets taken down to 71 HP with, you know, the Deagle spray just soaring through mid there. Weber, though, is going to get dropped by White. That's a little bit of payback for tagging him at the start of the round. Flashes go through as well. The mid play is going to be underway. Aaron does see if he can do anything from short, and he does as Zello gets taken down. So that's going to equalize it to a 4-on-4 here. Team Infused slowly but surely trying to rotate on in here as Bomb starts heading over towards that B site. The remaining 3 Team Infused players trying to do all they can to make their way over there. 1 minute left on the clock. Bomb still isn't down, so I mean, they are fairly close. Pulse is going to get dropped though by those nades through the smoke, and Aaron and Mighty, they are going to get put through the meat grinder as Mighty does pick up one with a nice deep shot through the box, but that's all it's going to be. 12-5 now is the scoreline, and well, it's getting ever closer to the danger zone here for XPC.
Yeah, exactly. More strong stuff coming in, and you know, they're not going to be facing anything from Team Infused you wouldn't expect. I mean, the force is possible, and you know, something a little bit aggressive and maybe go en masse out of an angle might be something they'd want to try as well, but maybe just sticking with what they know could be the plan. And Zello, he peeks out into the mid, and Cosmine, he's going for it. He's not messing around with a good assist, and he's got 3 frags. Sexy is able to take down Weber as well. Mighty Max, wow, how low is he? And he's got a miracle to try and pull off here. Bomb is up and in the hands of XPC, and it's on the move. Going to be looking to put their 13th round on the board if they can. Going to be a comfortable plant into B. It's really a question about whether Mighty Max wants to go for it, and the answer to that one is straight away answered with a no. He's going to get taken down by Sexy, and we're going to witness the first buy versus buy now. XPC 13-5 and now looking commanding.
Yeah, they've gone into this second half and they are taking charge of it. And that much is obvious as they do manage to pick up these first 3 rounds on the board. They've got a good bit of money as well from the rounds that they have won. You've got the AWP on White, something that he's proven time and time again. He's just so devastating with. But I mean, look at this play from Aaron here. Now this could bode very well for them. He's going to get a lot of information. It's really going to come down to whether or not he hears the approaching XPC players. He's in that close angle, and well, he manages to get 1. The rest of XPC are fast moving in to try and get the trade there, but he makes it 2. Pulse gets 1 of his own as well, so now it's going to be a 2 versus 5, and in the blink of an eye, Team Infused looking like they could easily get their 6th round on the board here. Flash out from Aaron to try and find that frag on a White there. Sexy's going to be moving in, trying to get the trade, but Aaron chimes in with his 3rd. White, finally someone managing to take him down, and it's going to go into a 4 versus 1. Pulse picking up that frag, and 13-6 is the scoreline now as Team Infused get their much-deserved 6th round on the board. And, well, I mean, there's still all to play for.
Yeah, it's been made to work for it, but, you know, get the first buy versus buy, and they put in a very solid performance, which was much needed. And, you know, for White, even if he did pick up those couple of frags from the early pressure, that is a long time, minute 10, to try and save an AWP with 3 CTs wanting to try and chase you down and do as much economic damage as they can. Now XPC, from what we've seen from them, they've got a few different paces that they can work on their T side, and will maybe be a little more inventive, for lack of a better word, than Team Infused, who seem to fall back to that short strat, which worked to decent effect, but maybe could have tried to mix up a few more things. But Weber, he's done well, and he's already managed to pick up a couple of frags as they go through. But Zello, a one-man army, just goes charging straight into the site with the bomb in hand, and he's able to drop it. So it's a chance for the retake to come in. 3v2, 3 possible angles to cover, only 2 players left for the terrorists, and the amount of times that we've seen teams leave the tunnels well alone in these 2 versus X situations, trying to hold this thing down. And that bomb time, it's a long time to try and get in. As Aaron straight away, he makes the frag. Zeller comes out the flash, but he misses the chance on Mighty Max, who ends up grabbing it, and the defuse comes in. Plant for XPC, that's going to help their economy at least if they want to get the AWP back up at 13-7, and Team Infused have brought the deficit to within 6.
Yeah, they've managed to get 2 in a row as well. So when you look at their economy, I mean, it's not looking great, but it's not looking terribly weak either. They should be able to field the buy in the next round, even if they, have a shaky start, possibly lose this. XPC, they aren't going to get their rifle round in, so it is going to be rifle versus rifle. You've got the AWP up on White as well, and he's been devastatingly effective with that. No one's going to be there to challenge him in mid, and but he's playing a little bit more defensive here. Does miss that AWP shot downwind. Isn't able to make anything happen just yet, and that does give a good bit of control over to XPC as they start to move into mid. Cosmin going for a very aggressive play. Aaron's going to be able to pick him up and punish him for that, though. So one-man advantage now towards Team Infused. 5 versus 4, and XPC kind of going for a bit of an Infused strat here if you look at their layout. Sexy trying to keep the pressure on down towards long. It's going to be falling back, and that's going to weaken the A site when you look at it. There's no one really there to kind of hold it off. Pulse rotating on over, along with Aaron in through CT. White does pick up Pulse. That's going to put it into a 4-on-4 as the man advantage is removed from Team Infused. And Bomb should be getting planted any minute now. I mean, there's plenty of time left for Team Infused to get back into this. The rotate's already underway, and they're basically already here. White's going to be looking downwind towards long. Flash does go out, and it's going to catch him. But Mighty doesn't do anything to capitalize off of that just yet, and I wouldn't want to be challenging an aggressive White with that AWP anytime soon. Zello gets 1 on a corner, but Aaron comes in with the return frag. It's a 3-on-3 for the retake here. White gets taken down on sight by Aaron. Aaron manages to make it 4 now, with the potential for the ace as well. Sexy's going to be the last hope for XPC, and he's over one short. He's spraying through. He's actually doing the damage, but he doesn't pick up the kill. And Aaron in with 4. That's going to be the 8th round on the board for Team Infused, and what a way for them to take it.
Yeah, it is, and Aaron, he is fragging alongside these XPC boys, and he's dropped his 20 bomb with that 4K that he just picked up, and he's on a tear, to be honest, and he's dragging the rest of his team along with him. The deficit is closing, and Team Infused look super solid on their CT side, which is good stuff to work from. And maybe we're going to see a fast play coming in from XPC. Connor straight away with the first frag, and they've stalled up, but they do manage to get that frag. And Weber, he's got the AWP, and he's able to pick up a few crosses up there in the window. So it's going to be a tough prospect for them as they try and get this plant down. Look for the money. All they could afford was these Tech 9s and the armor. 3 versus 4 in favour of Team Infused, and they've got all of the utility they could possibly want to try and break their way into this site. 3 players left though, so they can cover all of the angles XPC if they choose to do that, but they may also want to double up. Going to be interesting to see how this one pans out, and it's all going to happen within the next 15-20 seconds as Zaminte has the play in, and it's Aaron. Who else? He picks up the frag. Zello and White, though, they've got 3 frags apiece, but Aaron comes in to clean up, and for the 2nd time in a row, he's in there with the defuse and a couple of vital frags. Team Infused bring it now within 4. That gap is closing ever further.
Yeah, I mean, the look on your face says it all right now. I don't think anyone would have seen it being this close. I mean, you said you figured it'd be fairly one-sided towards XPC, but Team Infused doing a great job of proving everyone wrong. They've got 9 rounds on the board currently. They've managed to take 4 in a row, and their economy's starting to move ahead of XPC's in quite an amazing fashion. They've been able to get another buy together. You've got the AWP up on White once again, but sadly, he's been fairly absent so far from this half, I would say. And, well, it's going to come down to this. Pulse does manage to find one over towards long. That's going to be Sexy going down. So that's going to be the one-man advantage off the bat for Team Infused. And so now, I mean, even if they just trade comfortably into this round, they're still going to come out on top. I mean, won't do the best for their economy, but it will be a 10th round on the board regardless. So let's see how XPC can adjust to this situation as they do find themselves one man down. Pulse going to be looking over towards that short angle, and will he find one onto White, showing who's the more dominant AWPer there as he gets taken down. It's going to go into a 3-on-5 here. And XPC, if they keep losing men like this with no one to trade, they're going to be found in a very, very bad place.
Yeah, for sure. White going for the shoulder peak, but it's a little bit slow trying that. And Aaron, so he's taken down, been the key man as the start of this comeback fires in. Zello gets one, Siminte gets one, and Cosme gets one as well. So team effort coming in, and what a turnaround suddenly. 3 versus 2 in favour of XPC. Plant down over towards the B site, and Mighty Max is able to get Zello, so back to a 2v2. And again, that age-old problem. Where do you look with the 2 players that you've got over towards this B site? And you can bed yourself in, but you know, it is possible with enough utility to go for the retake. Molotov straight in on the bomb. Cosme, he's able to get one and gets both Mighty Max and Pulse as they try and make their entry into the site. So, you know, Team Infused, they got 2 players early on, 5v3, but XPC showed that they have the ability to turn it around so quickly with a couple of frags when they enter the site, and you know, they're now looking ever closer to victory here. Team Infused fully committed.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to secure that the 2-player head start, and at that point, you know, I think most teams, such as XPC, might have, you know, played a little bit more passively, but we just saw, if anything, more aggression coming out from them, and Team Infused weren't ready for that. Weber's going to start this off the right way for Team Infused, finding one into Simmente over in the kind of mid-area there, so that is going to weaken that fairly substantially. He's going to fall back as well, not going to get traded out just yet, so it is going to go 4-on-5. Once again, a 1-man advantage on the cards right now for Team Infused. And, well, XPC, they're taking things nice and slowly, not wanting to rush into anything just yet. Weber over towards B. He's going to be looking into the tunnels now. And oh, if only he knew. And there's the collateral through the smoke. Weber, if that's how you want to go ahead and do things, then be my guest, my friend. And now it's going to go into a 2-on-4 here. 2 XPC players versus 4 members of Team Infused. They hear them up on short. They've got the information. Pulse comes in with one of his own, showing that Weber isn't the only one who can AWP. And it's going to be White left in this 1 versus 4 here. AWP in hand, and 45 seconds left on the clock. He's able to get one on a Weber, but there's still 3 Team Infused players left alive to try and put a stop to this.
Yeah, for sure, and he's got to choose a site. He wants to go for it. Well, actually, he doesn't even have to do that. He's got to go for the bomb, and there are 2 Team Infused players ready, willing, and waiting, and they get themselves that AWP picked up as well. So XPC back down against it, and they've been reset as well, which is even further damage to their progress in this competition. And you know, this wasn't necessarily the worst thing for them. We saw an aggressive play out of them, and maybe we'll see something similar. Will it be effective? Well, we will just have to find out. Pulse with the AWP. He's getting pushed by multiple players coming in his direction, but Aaron, he's also got a frag on Zello. So it's again, Team Infused have the advantage, make that a 3-man advantage. Pulse with a frag, and Pulse has got another on White as well, leaving Cosme last man standing. Hasn't got the bomb. He's got 5 players to find. The chance for a plant just to get $100 in the account, well, the chances of that are slim to none.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Weber and Pulse over here towards long. It's like shooting fish in a barrel for them right now, and Mighty Max is actually going to be the one to pick it up with the UMP. That's a nice little kill bonus for him there. It's going to go 14-11, and it's getting closer and closer. 3 rounds now is all that separates these 2 teams, and well, I mean, it's been very back and forth. And you know, Team Infused, they're digging deep. They're getting the ability and the aggression, and you know, perhaps the motivation to keep on going. As it's been a very, very impressive showing from them thus far. So going now into the 26th round, XPC, they're going to be onto an eco here. You've got a scout out on Sexy. Weber and Aaron down in mid, making quick work of these players as they try pushing through. Aaron manages to pick up 2 of his own, and then Connor over towards B picks up the remaining 2 XPC players. It's going to go 14-12, and Team Infused, you're showing no signs of stopping just yet.
No, they sure aren't, and I'm a little speechless by this, but it's good stuff. It really is good stuff, and you know, players have shown up. Aaron 25, and Weber's 1 frag away from his 20 bomb, doing some great stuff with the AWP, and double AWP setup seems to be pretty effective. Pulse, you know, just holding his angles, not committing too much, but No, that's not a problem. Defensive AWPers are super useful as White. Now a chance for him to flex his muscles as he gets an opening pick and he's traded straight back by Weber. And Mighty Max, though, he tries to walk through. Weber's got his second, so 20 bomb has been guaranteed. 3 versus 3 and time to work. But, you know, Mighty Max going down over towards the long, maybe not the best. And Sexy, maybe he can throw a bit of misdirection. He has been spotted, but he's also got some useful information. Zaminte goes down, as does Sexy, leaving Zello last man against 3. Aaron, low HP, easy target for him, and Zello able to grab him. And there's some half-decent information that's come in where these two AWPs are going to be playing from, and it's whether Zello can do anything with it or if he thinks about saving this AK.
Yeah, I mean, with the angle he's playing right now, it isn't going to look like that's what's on the cards. He does find one on a pulse. It's going to go into a 1 versus 1 here. And while it's all falling on a Weber to try and make it work, he does it. He is able to pick it up, sorry. And oh my God, I was so speechless just then I followed my words. But he is able to do it. 14-13. It's getting ever closer. And we're nearly at that dream 14-14 scoreline. Team Infused doing everything to stop XPC from reaching that map point. And, well, it is going to be extremely important. 10 grand on Weber as well, so he's definitely in the money right now. And, well, it's going to be an eco coming out from XPC. This is exactly what Team Infused wanted. Aaron gets 1 up in top mid. Sexy trying to do something over towards Zong. He's going to get taken down as Mighty Max picks up 2, and it's going to go into a 2 versus 5 here. Aaron gets 1. So it's going to be 2 kills on the board for him now. And, well, it's all going to fall onto Zaminte over towards that long angle. And with 2 players there trying to remedy this problem that is going to be Zaminte. I mean, it's not looking too good for him. He's got the Tech 9 in hand. The hopes and dreams of XPC resting on his shoulders right now, and that might be, you know, too big a weight to bear. The nade's going to be going in. A nice shot as he comes out onto Mighty Max, and nearly able to make it 2, but Pulse comes in. It's going to go 14 all. And, well, I mean, it's anyone's game now at this point.
Yeah, it really is. XPC, they have the cash to be putting a full buy together, but that doesn't seem to be doing them any favours. They have lost 5 straight. And that one they picked up before that was 1 solitary round after Team Infused were on a 4-round tear. So, you know, they are really digging their heels in for this thing. They want to bring it home if they can. And XPC just seem a little bit short of ideas. And, you know, Team Infused are looking to mix things up, and it's been difficult to get any kind of frags. And Aaron does some great work, but then White, Zello and White again break themselves into this site. And, oh, Team Infused, this will be gutting if they get themselves so close to then throw it away right to death. Zello able to pick up Pulse. Mighty Max, he's the last man standing. He's got 3 to find. He's got a retake to make. And it's going to be a very, very tough ask for him. Could have been the hero. Doesn't quite happen. And it's all going to come down to this. Team Infused, with the number of rounds they want, they've got enough cash to be buying here. And 1-round shootout to decide this map.
Yeah, the bank of Weber, of course, is going to be dropping for his team there. $13,600 spent on that player. And well, it all comes down to this. I mean, if XPC take it, then they do take this, the first map, and that's going to take them 2-0. But I mean, if Team Infused manage to pull this off, then we will see it go to overtime. So that's going to be the best case scenario for them now. It's going to be a good buy, though, either side for both teams. Pulse going to be running a little bit bare, not much utility, but I mean, kits across the board, so what more could you ask for? And it's going to be a very heavy mid-presence coming in here from XPC, something that we haven't really seen them capitalise on all that much, as now it actually looks to play quite a vital part in this round. Zaminte is going to get taken down by Pulse over towards short, so that's going to start off Team Infused with a 1-man advantage. And now it's all going to be down to whether or not they can keep that as we continue into this round. 1 minute, 10 seconds left on the clock. And well, XPC trying to do something clever here as they divide their players up. Pulse, though, says no to Clever as he finds 1 on White in mid, and that's going to give them a 2-man advantage now. Smokes and flashes out onto that B site. Whoever finds 1 with the AWP, it's going to go into a 2-on-5. Cosme's pushing on through, and Connor and Aaron come on in. It's going to go 15-15 Crossy, and we're going to see it go to overtime.
What a way to start off this grand final overtime in Team Infused. How many rounds have they won on the spin there? We don't get to find out as we go straight into the overtime, but that was ridiculous. 4 rounds in this overtime will bring it home for either one of these teams. It's going to be XPC starting off on T side, where they've struggled to get rounds, to say the least, against Team Infused. So, you know, not an ideal situation for them to be starting in, and we'll just have to see how it pans out. 10k start money, so it will be a full buy versus buyer. White and Zello go huge again. Those two seem to work in pairs, collecting these frags as they now make their way up towards 8. And what a way to start. Will they be able to bring this thing home, though?
Yeah, I mean, picking up those 3 players early on is definitely going to be very advantageous. Cosmine gets another one to add insult to injury, and well, it's all going to fall on Connor here. And well, a little bit of a contrast there between the previous round and this, as Team Infused now, they are going to be on the back foot. They lose the first round of overtime, which, you know, is never going to be good. And I know I shouldn't really call it yet, but Connor being on the other side of the map, trying to save his M4, kind of, you know, suggesting he's not going to go for it. You know, he's going to try and hold onto his gun, but they don't want him to. He's going to be able to get one. But Zello comes in for the trade, and he's going to get dropped. So it's going to go 16-15 now, and we're going to be heading into the second round of overtime. It is MR3, so you know, every round counts at this point. You don't have a lot of money as well. The dangerous thing is potentially you can be in this situation where you have no money left, and well, that is what could happen to Team Infused here if they do manage to lose this round as well. XPC, they're showing that they are relentless, and they're showing that they want to go the distance, but Pulse comes in with one to start things off with a one-man advantage for Team Infused. Now, can they hold on to it?
That's going to be the question. And as you mentioned, if you end up dropping 2 rounds, especially if you're playing on CT side, then you can pretty much find yourself on an eco for the last one, which is not ideal, especially when you're fighting for it. Cosmine, though, he's made an entrance onto the site through the platform before Aaron takes him out. But the information is known, and Aaron, he's on such low HP. Cemente trying to spray, but he's been bottom of the scoreboard, and he just can't quite put things together for his team. Zello, what can he do now then? Last man standing against 4. He's got a couple here on fairly low HP, but Aaron, who else would it be? Ends up picking around straight back up for Team Infused.
Yep, 16-16. It's so back and forth at this point, and well, they're only going into the last round of the first half of overtime. What a title for that round. It's extremely lengthy. And, well, Team Infused, they do manage to get a fairly decent buy together, seeing as they win the previous round. XPC, once again, they've got their decent buy coming in as well. Orp up on white still, and curious to see how effective he can be with that. We're going to be seeing Cosmine and Sexy trying to make it out towards long. They're not able to make anything happen just yet, as they do get Molotov down. 3 players there to try to hold them back. Very heavy mid-presence coming in from XPC. Weber's going to be the man trying to hold that off, but he knows better. He's going to fall on back. Doesn't want to give them the opening frag, and he's going to go and hold passive over towards that B site. A lot of mid-presence, so given up to XPC here. I mean, you've still got, I believe that's Sexy watching watching long with the bomb. So potential there for something to happen if a push were to be underway, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. 3 players down in mid as Zello finds one on Aaron to start things off for XPC in a very good way. White's going to be looking up towards B. Does get a tag on O'Connor. He's going to be down to 20 HP, and well, B's looking very, very appetizing here for XPC.
It is, and Weber, he wants to fight fire with fire or try, and I like that play. Trying to go and tangent him, and kind of make sure that they're not expecting it, because they might be looking at all kinds of angles, and he could have done some damage. So I like the play. It turns out the execution wasn't quite there, and they were more than equal to it. But XPC, with White picking up that final frag, they get themselves 17-16, slender advantage going into this, and they were pretty much unfallible on CT side, but then so were Team Infused when they got to it. This is why we're in overtime.
Yeah, no, definitely. The real problem now is Team Infused. They have to win all 3 if they want to take the overtime. The best they can really hope for is they win 2, they take it to another round of overtime, and potentially we could be here all evening. But who knows? We're going to be going into the 4th round of overtime now, and well, not much happening there at the beginning. Cosmic gets tagged down to 35 HP, and of course he's playing over towards that B site, so that's going to make it a little bit more squishy, a little bit more appetizing for Team Infused. An aggressive push down short is going to get punished by Connor as he picks one up, so that's going to start a 1-man advantage in favor of Team Infused here as it goes into a 4 versus 5. Cosmic going to be peeking mid for the information as they do basically relinquish all control over the Team Infused. And well, it is going to go 4 versus 5 here, like we say. Very heavy mid-presence coming in from Team Infused as they start to make their way up short. And Zello, he is here to try and deal with it, but Connor's not going to let that happen. Does get the return frag in, so there's still a 1-man advantage in favor of Team Infused. Sexy over towards long, trying to do all he can, but he's going to be there alone. No one there to trade for him. Smoke is down, so he's denying these players access through those long doors, just delaying the push, but they are going to go for it anyway, knowing that they've got better numbers here. Flash goes out. It does hit, but Weber is going to be there with the orb, steadfast and firm, takes him down, and now it's all going to fall on Cosmine and Cemente here to try and hold on to this 2 versus 4.
And going for the spray down, but Cemente can't hit anything other than doing a little bit of damage. Nothing really to write home about though, and Cosmine, he's pretty much going for it. He needs to wait for his teammate to come and just bolster. He tries to go in, then he gets spotted by Aaron straight away. And they haven't really coordinated this one, and Zaminte is going to get out of dodge and retain whatever weapon he can to try and bring this thing home. And good economic management. If you're going to start getting yourself into strife, you don't want to do it on CT side with 10k start money. And so you lose 2 rounds, you will not be buying next time out unless you're being clever.
Yeah, and if they do go and hunt Zaminte and take this AWP off of him, that would actually spell disaster for XPC, as you'd have White, who would basically be down to an eco. He's only got 2,450 left, so he'd be able to get a buy together, but it would not be strong whatsoever. And, well, I mean, if you are left in that situation where you run out of money in overtime, you can basically kiss goodbye to that 3rd round, because finding yourself on an eco now is, not the place you want to be in. It's going to go 17 all, and, well, I mean, at this point, Team Infused, if they get one more round, then they've at least secured that double overtime scenario. Potentially, I mean, they could take all 3. We're going to be seeing the AWP up on Weber. We've seen him be so strong with that. He's going to be peeking mid. He might be able to get a tag as they do try and cross. Not going to be able to land that shot like he has been in the past. And, well, probably the quietest start we've actually seen from Team Infused. No tags going on straight away. And a very interesting play coming out here. Nice boost from XPC, but not going to make anything come into fruition as they do have to fall back. Mighty Max putting the hurt down in lower tunnels.
Yeah, and we're going to have probably a short little wait before anything too crazy starts to happen. Team Infused going back to their stock setup of just waiting things out and waiting for the pushes to come in. And XPC have given them a few opportunities to bring the numbers in their favour, actually, which you've got to be very wary of. So Zaminte in towards the back of B, so he's been struggling compared to the rest of his teammates, just a little bit behind. And normally you'd be able to just pick up one player that's lagging behind a little bit, but Team Infused have had a couple of players, Aaron and Weber in particular, that have really run away with it. And Pulse, he's been super solid, as you'd expect with a player of his many years of experience, especially on the CT side with the AWP, just doing what needs to be done, picking up those frags when there's been attacks onto his A site, and he's pretty much been out-picking anything that XPC have been able to bring in when they were trying to attack on T side, as we now got a potential push coming in. 25 seconds left to go, just under Slee. Haven't got a whole lot of time to work with here, and Sexy, he likes to do this. He's picking up a couple straight off the bat. Cosmine able to get one as well, so Sexy's going to try and get up onto the side, takes down Mighty Max, leaving Aaron last man standing, and they have the numbers advantage. And with that short plant, Sexy can just sit on this one with a bit of support from his teammate. Aaron trying to hightail it up there, doesn't have the time, and XPC take it to 18-17. So 1 round in it again. This is what it comes down to. XPC pick this one up, they take the map. Or we could have another overtime, and Team Infused, no room for error. And what are they trying here?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most renowned buy we've seen, and it does somewhat pay off for them. They get the return impulse over towards Long, actually making it work with the quad AWP buy there, and he's able to find one very early on Nazello. That's going to give them that 1-man advantage. Sexy, they're going for an aggressive play here to try and get this return frag. He is going to be getting a little bit of congestion. Bomb's going to be dropped as well over towards the T-spawn. Not committed to anything too much just yet. But I mean, a fairly passive hold aside from this play from Sexy. I'm not sure anyone's really ready for this. You have got players watching the angle. He's not overextending himself out too much just yet. As well as that, looking at it, Mighty Max trying to make something happen here as he does move into position to take that A site. Sexy's going to get one. No one's there to get the return frag. He looks for the second. He makes it 2, but Weber finally chiming on in with the return. And it's going to go into a 2 versus 2 here. Over towards that A site. Cosmine finds one with the AK, and it's all going to fall on Weber. 1 versus 2. He's the last hope for Team Infused here, as the scoreline's currently 18-17. And well, he's got to hold on to this if they want to be able to take it to a 2nd round of overtime. He's slowly making his way up Long. 1 versus 2. 43 seconds left. He's got a little bit of time. He's going to be peeking these angles slowly but surely, trying to just skirt on through. And well, it looks like it might be working for him now. He is going to get peeked, and well, now he's finding himself in between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't want to be caught out looking the wrong way, and it's got to be extremely challenging for him now. 25 seconds left. They're both going to be peeking him. They can afford to be aggressive at this point. As long as they get the trades in, Cosmine's going to find it, and he gets taken down. That means XPC, they managed to take it 19-17, but it was so incredibly close.